Hi guys, what is up? It's your girl Karen, aka cakedbybabyk, and welcome back to my channel. I just finished filming this makeup look while talking about a lot of updates in my life, so go check that out. And 2 YouTube videos in one day, well, at least filming. Who is she? Don't know her. But today we're doing an empties video. If you guys follow me on TikTok, you see this bag, you know that it's time for empties. This thing is filled to the brim, so I have a lot to say, and I actually don't even remember what is all in here, so this is going to be a trip down memory lane for me. Item number 1. Yup, another one bites the dust. Nowadays is a fun little drinky drink. I swear this is probably our 5th bottle at this point, and this is the 5mg per serving bottle. Unfortunately, this will be my last bottle for a minute because now that I'm on medication for my brain, I don't really want to mix. So nowadays, I love ya. I'll see you soon, hopefully. But as always, she gets a 5 out of 5, a 6 out of 5, a 10 out of 5. Let's go through body care next. The Naturium Glow Getter Body Wash. This is probably our 4th bottle at this point. Really unique oil to gel formula. I was skeptical about this one at first because since I'm an oily gal, I tend to stray away from oil formulations. But this formula is so interesting in the way that it is truly so nourishing, and it truly is an oil to gel formula, but it doesn't make you feel greasy or unclean. It does an excellent job of cleansing the skin without stripping it. Nate, my fiance, has eczema and very, very sensitive skin, and he loves this stuff. He swears by it. He is the reason why we've gone through so many bottles. 5 out of 5. Keeping in the same vein of Naturium, we have the Biolipid Restoring Body Lotion. I personally liked this, but I didn't like it enough to want to repurchase it. I think I would rate this a 3.5 out of 5. I did enjoy it. The texture is nourishing, but it's not overly heavy for my skin. If you're anything like me and you want something nourishing and moisturizing in the summer months that's still lightweight, I think this is a really good option. I don't think that this would be enough moisture for me in the winter months, so if you lean more towards the dry skin type on your body, I'm not sure if this would be hydrating and moisturizing enough for you, but it does absorb really nicely into the skin. It doesn't have a greasy residue when I apply it. And let me just talk my shit, because while I love a pump for facial skincare, I hate a pump when it comes to body care because it is so hard to get the last bit of product out. I still think there's still some in here. Like, I can see it right there. I'm trying to whip it out like I'm making a freaking potion. Bubble bubble toil and trouble. Again, I liked it enough to use a whole bottle, but don't think I would repurchase. Another body lotion that I used up is the Rare Beauty Fine Comfort Hydrating Body Lotion. This one I would say is even thinner than the Naturium one that I just mentioned. This smells so freaking good. I actually did a whole video centered around the Rare Beauty Body Collection here on YouTube, so I will link that somewhere. For me, I use this for the scent more than anything because I love the scent. It is so fresh and citrusy. I know that there's sparkling yuzu in there. Actually, let me fact check that. I may be thinking of something else. Yeah, apparently I was straight up lying to you. There is no sparkling yuzu, but there is lemon zest. That is one of the top notes, and I think that's why I love it so much because I'm a huge citrus girly when it comes to scents. There's also vetiver and black tea, which vetiver is such an underrated note. I love it so much, and I can rarely find it in any perfume or body lotion. Now, when it comes to the formula of this, I think I still have a little bit in here so I can show you guys. It is very thin. So again, my dry girlies, not sure if this is right for you. I really like this in the summer months. Gives a very, very slight glow to the skin, but I do think that that fades away. Similar to the Naturium body lotion, I don't think that this is going to be hydrating and nourishing enough in the winter months for me, but summer, I am all for it. Another gripe that I have with this packaging though, it is so hard. And the cap is actually one of these, but towards the end, I found myself just opening the cap all together and just kind of squeezing the rest out. But even squeezing the rest out, it was really difficult because this is so hard. She's rigid. They did come out with a pump for this lotion though, but you do have to buy it separately. I'm just never a huge fan of buying things separately. But again, I hate a pump for a body lotion. I think it's easier accessibility wise, but when it gets towards the end, I got bones to pick. Not even bones, whole carcasses. But in order for me to give a 5, I just think it has to be something that I want to reach for every single day. Something that I would want to repurchase, and unfortunately, she falls a tiny bit flat, but don't get me wrong, I still really, really like her. Overall, this gets a 4 out of 5. I am rating it a little bit higher because I would use this again just for the scent alone. Also have another Rare Beauty body care item. This is the Fine Comfort Body Lotion. not the lotion. I literally just talked about the lotion. This is the body wash. This one has the same scent as the body lotion. I do wish the scent lingered around a little bit more. I wish it was a little bit stronger. This almost has a sort of jelly-like consistency, and it does have exfoliating beads, though I don't really like the amount of exfoliating beads that are in here. They describe it as a gentle buff, but for me, I like to scrub. So if something is going to be at least a little bit scrubby, I need it to be scrubby to where it can actually scrub. Are y'all catching my drift? Because I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly. Instead of a gentle buff, I would have rather had a body wash with no exfoliating beads or have more exfoliating beads. Like, I need them to pick a lane. It was not exfoliating enough for my body. She did lather well, and I love the scent again, so she gets a 2. All right, moving on. This one is more random, but I'm still categorizing it as body care because the mouth is part of your body. But this is one of the TheraBreath mouthwashes. We got the wild mint flavor, and you know when you're chewing a minty gum and it starts to lose its flavor? That's what this tastes like. Overall, this was our first time trying TheraBreath, and I really love it. I love taking that extra step to kind of make sure my mouth is all clean and whatnot. But this flavor specifically, she gets a 1. I would not repurchase. We already have repurchased another bigger bottle, and that is the Invigorating Mint, I believe. So much better. Okay, moving on to hair care. These shampoo and conditioner bottles have been sitting in my shower for a hot minute, so I don't want to hear anything about how gross they look. Okay, I know. Let's start off with the Day Signature Shampoo and Conditioner. I love this stuff, but Nate, he loves this stuff. We were first introduced to these two because I received the travel size, and whenever Nate and I go on trips, we tend to just use the same toiletries so it's less to pack. He absolutely fell in love with both of these, and while I was in New York last year for Sephora, I had the same travel set in my shower, and my sister used the same shampoo and conditioner, and she also really loved it. Now again, for me personally, I like these, but since I'm constantly trying out new hair care, I don't feel compelled to go back to these. Although I do enjoy taking the minis on vacation because I do like them. To me, I just don't think that there's anything that is super innovative or stands out a lot to me about these two. Like, I enjoy using them for sure. Overall, I think I would rate this like a 3.5 or a 4. Nate would probably rate these a 5 out of 5. Next up, another shampoo and conditioner pairing. These are from Pureology. You know, everyone raves about the purple Pureology shampoo and conditioner, and I actually hate that one. This one is the Strength Cure line, and I love how this smells. It smells kind of citrusy. It's actually orange, which is interesting because it's in blue packaging. I don't know. Anyways, but this is mainly for damaged and color-treated hair. You guys know I'm on my hair health journey. Trying to go back to natural for the wedding, but I still have a lot of my bleach growing out, so I would say from here down a lot of it is still bleached, slowly sloughing it off with each haircut. And the reason why these two impressed me so much is because before I switched over to these two, I was actually using an Oribe shampoo and conditioner, and if y'all know Oribe, that's stupid expensive, and it completely dried my hair, and I didn't even know that that was the issue until I switched over to these two. The difference was night and day. My hair felt so much more healthy, so much more hydrated. The shampoo lathers really well, the conditioner hydrates, but it doesn't weigh down your hair. I have really thin and fine hair, so that's super important when it comes to a conditioner. Pureology, y'all get a 5. Moving on to skincare, we have quite a few items, but I'm going to talk about the Dr. Dennis Gross Creamy Cleansing Oil first. I'm going to be mean. I'm going to be mean for a tiny, tiny second. Gross is what I would describe this as. The way that they market this is super interesting because they say it can just be your first and second cleanse in one. The texture of this is so runny. I don't know why they put it in this packaging because once you open it, it just squirts out. And the fact that happens just completely turns me off from using this. Now I know it's different strokes for different folks, and that is so true because the only reason why this is empty is because Nate has been using it religiously. He really loves this stuff. Again, he has eczema, he has sensitive skin, and he just went through this like water, probably because half of it was just dripping out of the bottle. But he asked me if I had another one of these, and unfortunately I said no. It's just not for me. I'm rating it a 0, and Nate would probably rate it a 5. Since we're on the topic of double cleansing, I do have a makeup melting cleansing balm from e.l.f. Cosmetics. I have forgotten how much I love e.l.f. skincare. I think it's so nice, especially for the price. This has been scraped. The texture of this is really light, and you know how with some cleansing balms you get those little discs or those little they look like kind of grains of rice that don't melt down fully when you massage it into the skin. You do not have that problem with this one. It removes my makeup so well. It doesn't burn my eyes, and as a contact lens wearer, I'm super sensitive about that stuff. It also emulsifies really well, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to be emulsifying your first cleanse if you're using like an oil or a balm. But when you emulsify it, it just turns into this super creamy texture that washes off beautifully, doesn't leave any residue, and it's just the perfect preparation for a second cleanse. I normally would recommend Milani for a drugstore makeup cleansing balm, but we're adding this to the list because I love her. She gets a 5 out of 5. Oh my god, I should have talked about this right after the Dr. Dennis Gross cleanser, but this is the pre-cleanse from Dermalogica, and I would much rather use this than this. It has the same runny consistency, but the difference is that this packaging, like, that's what it looks like, so it's really easy to control the amount in which you want to use. Obviously this is a travel size, but it lasted me a long time. I cannot tell you how many trips I've taken this on. A little bit goes a long way, and I was to the point at the end where I'm like, I just want to use this up so I can put it in an empties video. It works so well. The full size, she's a little bit pricey, but I promise you, she's worth it. All right, moving on to serums, I have two. First, I'll talk about the Naturium Niacinamide Serum that is 12% plus zinc at 2%. First and foremost, I love the packaging. Y'all know I love a pump when it comes to skincare for the face. Personally, I am not a huge fan of this, and I was shocked that I didn't like it because everyone talks about Naturium skincare, and this is one of the first products from Naturium that I've tried on my face. I had previously only been using their body care. I think the 12% niacinamide might have controlled my oils a little bit too much because I actually felt dry when I was using this, and I've been using this in the summer, which is kind of crazy. Now, how the serum feels is nice. I liked the texture of it. It absorbed really nicely into the skin, but I just was so surprised by the fact that my skin felt dry. Maybe it was the amount I was using, but I was only using one pump, so maybe half a pump. She gets a 1. The second serum, we have the Cocokind Ceramide Barrier Serum. I surprisingly have never used up one of these, even though it is such a good serum. I honestly think that this is great for all skin types. It is super hydrating and nourishing. I love anything with ceramides because it's just gonna be really good for your skin barrier. She smells like oats to me, so be warned if you don't like the smell of oats. But very, very gentle. I was going through a stint in the last month and a half where my skin was just getting really easily irritated, and this just helped get it back to where it normally is. I love Cocokind as a brand. I love what they stand for. I also love their chlorophyll discoloration serum. So I'm really surprised that this is the first time I've finished one of these because it's just one of those products that is always like kind of in my rotation. I'm trying to wrap my mind around why I haven't used up a bottle yet, and I think it's the fact that it is just so foundational that I forget about it, which is really sad because it is a great product, but she's kind of like the friend that will always be there for you, if that makes sense. She's always gonna have your back. She's gonna help heal you. 5 out of 5. Okay, next we have some moisturizers. This one is actually an SPF, but I use it in place of a moisturizer every single morning. Y'all already know if you follow me on any of my other platforms. This is, I don't even know what number empty, 7, 8, couldn't tell ya. I've gone through so many of these. This is the Coola Classic Face Sunscreen, and it truly just feels like a moisturizer. It is a chemical sunscreen, so if you have a preference, I'm just throwing it out there, but it is so light, so sheer, so non-greasy. Again, I'm an oily gal, so I'm very, very picky when it comes to SPFs, and I feel like Coola has just been in my routine for so long because it is so good. And this one is SPF 50, which I feel like for a face SPF is really, really high. I've gotten so many people in my family and in my circle hooked on this. It's everywhere in my household and all my friends and family's household. 5 out of 5, 6 out of 5, 10 out of 5. I also have another e.l.f. skincare product. This is the Holy Hydration Gel Yeah Moisturizer, and I feel like I have used this before, like way before, I think in 2016 before they rebranded, because it smells the same. Like this scent brought me back to my college days, and it smells so light and fresh and good and summery. I would say this is best for oily combination skin types because it is very, very light. This is the perfect summer moisturizer for me. I personally get most of my hydration from serums or other treatments that I'm using, so when it comes time for my moisturizer, I don't really need much, so this formula was perfect. I believe they have other variations of this moisturizer as well. I'm pretty sure they have a gel cream version for the more drier peeps out there. I truly loved using this, and I'm very picky about my moisturizers. Moisturizer is just one of those skincare products that I'm just like, I feel like I'm more of like a serum stan rather than a moisturizer stan, but I am a stan for this moisturizer. I think because it's a gel, it just feels so nice on the skin. 5 out of 5. Okay, now moving on to makeup empties. I only have 3 and they're all brow related. You guys know I go through brow products like crazy. I have 2 of the Kosas Brow Pop Nanos. I'm in the shade medium brown, and these pencils, ultra fine tip. Can you even see it? Probably not. Skinny Legend. This is probably my 6th and 7th or 7th and 8th empty of these. Gone through so many that I have lost count, so obviously 5 out of 5, 6 out of 5, 10 out of 5. And the same goes for the Rare Beauty Brow Gel. I have also gone through countless amounts of these. I love this brow gel. I have the most stubborn brow hairs that grow outward and down, so finding a brow gel that can tame all of that stubbornness is really hard to find, and this one, that's why I've been sticking with it for so long. I love the texture of it. It's more of like a whipped gel consistency, and I think that's why it's so surprising that it holds up on my brows. Now, I will say my one gripe with this, and I don't know why I've only noticed this more recently with this one, but once you get towards the end of its life, she does start to get a little flaky, especially when you put too much in your brows. Usually is never an issue for me, but it was with this specific one, so I'm not sure what's happening. They better not have changed the formula, because if they did, Selena, I'm gonna have a bone to pick with you. But of course, she gets a 5 out of 5. Last 2 empties I have are super random, but this one is the IGK Biotin Gummies. I wasn't taking them super religiously. Towards the end, when I was taking them a little bit more religiously, I did not really notice a difference. They taste really good though, so there's that. I think I'll give it a 1. And these ones are actually melatonin. This is the Vicks Pure ZZZ's Triple Action. It has melatonin and ashwagandha, which is why I think it works so well. These knock me out. Okay, not for the faint of heart. Nate uses these to sleep during the day because he does work night shifts at the hospital, and this helps him sleep for long periods of time during the day. This is actually our 2nd or 3rd bottle, and while we do keep repurchasing for how well it works, I actually hate the taste of these. They're super sweet and they leave a really weird aftertaste in your mouth, and they are purple, so they stain your freaking tongue. I'm talking like my tongue is the color of this purple right here. 4 out of 5, but we do keep repurchasing, so there's that. And with that, the bag is empty. This is very fun to film. I love yapping and gabbing with you all. Let me know if you've tried any of these or if you're going to try any of these products. I am also wanting to film the opposite of an empties video, which I call fullies. I've done one of those videos on TikTok and it did pretty well. I just haven't gotten back into it. So I think I'm gonna start posting them here because I have a lot of products and I want to talk shit about them. So let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in a fullies video. But that is it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good, and I'll see you guys in the next one.